Planet Institute.
Hello and welcome to R&D Unplugged, a podcast from the Learning Planet Institute dedicated to discussing with researchers on the impact of their work in a simple way. My name is Shab Nastar. Today's guest is our own Ignacio Atal. He's a research fellow from the Learning Planet Institute here in Paris and also a research associate at l'ARAC, Université Grenoble-Alpes. Hello, Ignacio.
Hello.
Ignacio, your research is about enabling teachers' collective intelligence through participatory approaches of research in education. But before we go there and deep dive, let me start with a funny question. If your research had a theme song, what would it be and why?
It is a song from a historical Chilean group called Los Jaivas, who came up in the 70s with a new wave for the Chilean music by mixing traditional folkloric music with psychedelic rock. The song is called Todos Juntos, and basically it is a call to live together in this society. Why did I choose this song? For two reasons. My research is about helping teachers to come together and find together solutions to their challenges by doing research. And my research uses at the same time some very traditional and I would say folkloric methods to enable such a collective intelligence based on the facilitation of in-person workshops with teachers to identify challenges. But it also uses new methods to enable such a collective intelligence by using online platforms for teachers to publish and mutualize their research. And also because this song is a call for working together, living together in this planet, and my project is about inviting teachers to work together to address their joint challenges.
So nice. Some world music for us here. Thanks a lot. Let's go back to the core of our podcast here. Ignacio, what inspired you to begin with to pursue your particular research topic?
So when I was a child, I wanted to be a math teacher because I was very keen of improving education. And as I advanced in my academic life, I encountered many teachers and I have the opportunity to visit many primary and secondary schools where I realized that in fact the work of a teacher and the profession of a teacher is super hard, super difficult. And even if I may have super good ideas of how to teach, first of all, how can I know that my ideas for teaching are good or not? This is the first question. And second, there are so many challenges of teachers that myself alone couldn't be the one that would find the solutions to all the different challenges of teachers. So I had these two problems: how to make sure that a given practice is can be recommended, is good to improve students' achievement, and second, how to make sure that the efforts to identify such practices doesn't come only from myself, but from many others. So that's why I developed the Profs-Chercheurs program for teachers as researchers program, which is a project in which teachers are invited to contribute to research by doing research about their own classroom experiments. Basically, the idea is that today there is millions of teachers that are experimenting daily new practices. And unfortunately, these experiments remain local in the classroom. And the main idea is to make such local experiments public in order to learn from all this distributed knowledge that is created by teachers daily.
Awesome. So your research is very much an action research. So the next question is going to be easy, I guess, for you. How does your research contribute to the issues that the world is facing right now?
For me, education is one of the most important issues of our society, and improving education is the case, in particular with the ever-evolving challenges that our society is facing. To tell the last ones, COVID pandemic, the increasing number of wars we are facing, but also the arrival of artificial intelligence in our society. And the new generation has to be ready to address these challenges, but also to be in capacity to address the new challenges that are unforeseen up to now. And teachers are, in fact, at the front line to build such a society and to build such a new generation. And research is quite consensual in the sense that teaching quality is one of the main predictors of education achievement. So this means that there are some teachers that, through their practices, are able to help students thrive, while others, unfortunately, are not able to do so, or maybe are lacking some ideas, some practices. And then, in order to help teachers, we have to think of how do teachers learn their profession? How do they learn to teach? And in fact, teachers, when you see the literature about how do teachers make decisions or what are their sources of information to make new decisions, you can see that teachers learn a lot through experience. They learn by doing. They learn by teaching. It's a lot of experiential learning. Teachers learn by doing. And in that sense, there is a need to help teachers learn better, improving the way they are learning. So my research, and in particular the Profs-Chercheurs program that I created, is designed to improve the way teachers are learning individually in their classroom, but also together as a collective to address the challenges they are facing in their classroom. We are inspired by participatory research and citizen science in order to give teachers tools from the scientific methods to analyze their own practices, analyze their own pedagogical experiments in order to identify what may not be working in their practices and what may work the best. So in that sense, these tools already improve teachers' capacity to reflect upon their practices, to better learn by doing, and to go from a reflexive practitioner to a researcher practitioner, to a practitioner researcher, which is in fact a leverage of professional development. A teacher that reflects upon his or her practices has more capacity to positively change her practices to address the situations of his or her classroom. And so, first, improving teachers' capacity to reflect on their practices, and second, by creating groups of teachers, communities of teachers that share experiences, share their thoughts, share their reflections, to learn from each other, learn from the experiences from each other, and also to get critical feedback from friends in order to improve your own practice. So how do my research contribute to the issues that the world is facing? Basically, this by helping teachers in better learning how to teach through reflection and collaboration.
Right. Did any results of your research surprise you? And maybe more broadly, what were some of the key insights from your research?
So this is the Profs-Chercheurs program is a project designed to orchestrate teachers' collective intelligence. And one of the main components of this program is an online platform for teachers to share the challenges they are facing and document them. And the idea is that this platform could serve a bit as a Wikipedia of teachers' challenges, of possible solutions to these challenges, and then of contextualized feedback of people that maybe tried one or another solution and could say, well, in my specific context, in this particular city with this kind of students, this action or this solution contributed or not to meet the challenge. And the platform is organized at the first level by what we call the challenges, that are basically the big educational thematics and the big educational problems teachers are facing. And as new teachers join, so teachers join the Profs-Chercheurs program by joining communities that are created by facilitators that we train. And a facilitator will create a community. A community is a real world size community of 10, 20 people that know each other because they work in the same context, in the same school, in the same territory. And this teacher then, so this facilitator may then organize a workshop during which the teachers will share the problems they are facing and may share. And the idea is to transform these problems into challenges. And the project uses this online platform to help all the communities mutualize and put in the same place the different challenges that are identified by the teachers. What we see it is that as time goes, we would expect that at some point a new teacher or a new community that is created will find already in the platform a challenge about his or her that concern them. But in fact, as new people join the program, there is new challenges always that are created in the platform, which means that teachers, the reasons could be many, but in scientific terms, we say that there is no data saturation, meaning that we would expect that as new teachers join, there are more chances they find already in the platform a challenge that concerns them. But this was not the case. And the reasons are many. First, maybe because there is new challenges that society is facing, in particular, for instance, with the arrival of artificial intelligence and generative AI, for the challenges of, evaluating students' written reports when ChatGPT can produce them automatically. But also because it looks hard for teachers to, despite they agree with the fact that they are facing similar challenges with others, it is hard for them to position themselves in a challenge that was created by someone else. And it is hard for them to contribute to a project that was initiated by others. As if there is a need to, the step of becoming the author of a new research project may be an important step contributing to engagement, while joining an existing project may decrease engagement.
Earlier you mentioned AI, and I want to ask you the question about the rise of AI in your research. Does it influence in any way the Profs-Chercheurs program, or will it influence, be it for problem solving, for facilitation, or other examples?
Well, so in addition to the educational challenges that are brought with the arrival of AI, that are already addressed by many teachers in the Profs-Chercheurs community. So we had some ideas of how to use AI to, I would say, optimize the orchestration of collective intelligence. So in the Profs-Chercheurs program, we had some ideas to include AI in order to optimize the orchestration of collective intelligence, or to benefit the collective intelligence of the community. So in the Profs-Chercheurs program, teachers are invited to write down the challenges they are facing, actions to address these challenges, and produce some feedback. And these written documents are published in this online platform that I was talking about just before. And what we do with the community, inspired from what the scientific community does, we implement peer review of these documents to help the teachers improve the quality of their writing, improve the readability, and to which extent the writings are comprehensive by others. So we have, during also this kind of community workshops, at some point we say, okay, now you finalize your writing, now let's go and review the writing done by another group, and we do like this peer review. And this peer review follows a list of questions, some instructions that are quite precise about do you understand all the concepts in the description of the challenge? Do you think that the argumentations of the concerning why the action could help addressing the challenge are. So do you need to add something else? Well, etc., etc. And what we tried a couple of times was to give these review questions to ChatGPT. And basically, we give a text written by teachers to ChatGPT and say, okay, now your job is to judge this text following these questions. Of course, your role is not to say that if the text is correct or not, but rather to provide constructive comments, possible suggestions, and additional questions to the authors to help them improve the text. And the output from ChatGPT was super good in the sense that it really raised questions that could have been raised by other humans. And in fact, this is, and also that asked additional questions that maybe wouldn't have been addressed by peers because they are peers and they know perfectly the educational system in which the initial co-authors live in. So it makes like an external point of view that is for free, very quick. You get feedback very quick as compared to, and generally when we ask people to do a peer review, it takes 30, 40 minutes of work. So it may help teachers save a lot of time.
Great. Ignacio, can you share with us a story where your research directly changed somebody's life?
So in October the 4th, I think, it's UNESCO's International Day of Teachers. And this year there was an event in the headquarters of UNESCO in Paris. And people from UNESCO asked me if I could identify some members of my community to come and share their experiences during this celebration day. And I proposed this opportunity to some of the teachers of my community, and there was one secondary school teacher from Académie Montpellier who was then invited by UNESCO to come to this day to Paris, and she could take the mic to present her thoughts about what is being engaged in research and what is the place of research in teachers' professional identity. And also this presentation was automatically translated in live in all UNESCO official languages for the audience that was present. And it was a super important experience for her because it valued her engagement in the community, and for me it valued the place of research in teachers' professional identity.
Let's wrap up. I have a generic question about research and a specific question about your research, Ignacio. I'm going to ask them both at once. Let's imagine I'm 20 and I want to change the world. Why should I engage in research? That's my first question. And the second question is, why should I choose your specific research topic?
So, as for the first question, there are many things that could be done to change the world for the better. And there are some things that could work and others that couldn't. There are some things that could have the expected outcomes and others that could have maybe some adverse effects. So it is very important to get a researcher stance in order to disentangle all the effects of the kind of possible solutions you are implementing to change the world. So that's my answer for the first question. And for the second question, why should you choose my research topic? Well, because education is the most important issue in society, and it is not only about changing the world, but it is about helping the teachers in improving the quality of education, and every young person like you should engage in such a topic.
Thank you for saying that. And that wraps up today's episode of the R&D Unplugged podcast. I'm Shab, your host. A huge thank you to our guest Ignacio for sharing his valuable insights with us. Also, a big thank you to all our listeners who joined us for today's episode. R&D Unplugged is a Learning Planet Institute podcast. This episode was produced by Annalena Neurer and Shab Naster, with recording and editing by Edouard. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can find all of our podcasts and further information about all our activities on our website at learningplanetinstitute.org/podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Learning Planet Institute.